Hello, friends. I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a good weekend. Raining and cold, but a good weekend. Um, Over the last month or two, couple of months, I don't know, here recently, I've been talking quite a bit about, self-help kind of headspace, mental health type topics. I've been enjoying making that content. For one, it's something that I've been really, very introspective over the last few years. And I think that in part, I'm trying to condense those thoughts into something that I can put out into the world. And maybe these videos are like a first draft of that. If you go watch some of the topics, I'm trying to condense all of those thoughts into something more meaningful. I don't know what that is yet, but so I think this has been kind of like a first draft, or me telling myself what I need to know. Because often, usually the stuff that I tell people when people ask me for advice or when I'm trying, it's stuff that I know that I need to do and I don't do it. So maybe this is talking to myself. But regardless of all of that, I'm going to put a video up here, and I think that it's an extremely valuable video to watch for just about anybody. And it is Kevin Smith, director, actor, Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, that sort of stuff. Went to an institution last year, got institutionalized. He admitted himself he had a break with reality. Essentially, he had been portraying a version of himself for so long that he forgot who he was, not this character. That's well and good, and if you're interested in him as a person, you might find that video interesting. But the one part of that video that I really want to hit on is kind of, it's in the title, is that trauma is trauma. And the way he explained it is accurate, but it kind of got muddled in with his personal story. Still totally think it's worth watching, like absolutely worth watching. But the idea is that your body, your nervous system, your brain, your body doesn't have a response to different levels of trauma. Trauma is trauma. And if trauma for you is being told you're garbage, that's not, your body doesn't have any less, like, and I told you, or a war veteran told you that his trauma or their trauma was seeing comrades get blown to pieces. Those two traumas are equivalent according to your body. Like, your reaction to both of those situations is the same. There is no difference. And so minimizing your own trauma by saying, oh, but these people are much worse off than me, I should be happy. While that might be like a decent coping mechanism, it might help you process your trauma. It's not okay to say that your trauma isn't worth worrying about, because it absolutely is. Your body responded to that. We've probably all felt that kind of panic moment. That's your body's response to trauma. Your body responded to it. You need to recognize that and go, okay, let's work that out, because letting that stuff build up is life-changing, and generally not in good ways. I can tell you from personal experience that there have been some traumatic instances for me that have made me a better person, that have forced me to grow up quickly. But for the most part, a lot of those experiences I bottled up, tucked away, and they just turned me into a bitter person, turned me into a cynic, turned me into less of an optimist than I probably should be. I'm doing pretty great right now, and I accept that. I'm personally am slowly beginning to accept some of the stuff that I've been through in my life that I thought was trivial, and it my body didn't have a trivial response. My nervous system, my brain, every part of my being had a non-trivial response to some of these things, and I need to accept that. I need to go, okay. Uh, how do I work that out? Don't know. For you, it might be counseling. It might be journaling. It might be meditation. It might be just yelling it into the void, or it might be talking to a partner or a parent or whatever. But I think that it's valuable for you to seek some form of respite from your internal thoughts about the traumas that you've experienced. Whatever you can afford to do, do it. In that video, he suggests EMDR, he suggests talk therapy, like he suggests a pretty expensive treatments if you don't have insurance, if you don't have access to mental health care. But I think that just being open with yourself and accepting your own feelings is the start of that process, is saying, maybe I'm not okay. Maybe what I experienced is not okay. And going from there, that's important. So do that. Do that for yourself. Do that for everybody around you. I promise you, if you talk to my children right now, the person that I am today standing here in front of this camera is very different from the person that I was 5 years ago when they moved out. I was in a really bad place then. And I was masking it for them, trying to be good for them, but it wasn't working. And they know that. They knew it then, and they know it now. And they know that the person that I am now is not that person. We have a much better understanding of each other now. And that's because I accepted that a lot of the things that happened at that time, a lot of things that happened years before that, weren't okay. And that I wasn't a good person in that moment. And I had to find a way to accept that and accept my feelings on that, and then work it all out. So go for it. Watch the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I hope this is the start to a great week. Let's have a good week together. Is there anything that you want me to talk about this week? I would love to have comments suggesting topics or questions that you have that you want to ask. Or, if you Google my hometown, some places that you want to see, some places I can take the camera and show you around. Let me know. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is quizzical. It is an adjective meaning unusual or comical or puzzled. The quizzical look on Amanda's face when David trailed a marriage proposal banner behind his private plane was absolutely priceless. Quizzical. Quizzical. I mean, I don't have a private plane to trail a banner behind, but I think that M had a quizzical look on her face when I proposed.